Well, it's been a while since this story has come out in November 23rd, 2023. And so now part 3 is finally here. Anyways, let's get on. You looked at Bakugou. He was sleeping, his head on his desk. You removed yourself from the pot, crawling down the balconies and rooting yourself into the ground, moving throughout the ground, making your way to a spot. You had felt movement. You were at the place, feeling the people that were there. The animal was taken care of, and now we wait for them. A hooded man spoke to another. You watched as they waited for what looked to be you. I can smell her, he chuckled. You narrowed your eyes, vaulting underground and traveling towards them, grabbing their legs, but when you touched them, your vines were burnt. It traveled to your body and eventually hitting you, making you jump out of the ground. There she is, they yelled, trying to capture you. You could feel the movement of people coming from UA, hopefully the staff. All you could do now was keep it up. You grabbed a tree, throwing it at the people, and them dodging it. Blue flames coming towards your face, directed towards your eyes, making you cover your eyes. You didn't know what was going on, but pain, feeling you being put on something, crying. You tried to tear through whatever it was, but your body was slowly turning browner and browner, fully falling asleep. What do you mean she's gone? Bakugou spoke. I left her in my room, he yelled. Then she must have noticed a threat on the school grounds. All Might spoke to Aizawa. Aizawa sighed, rubbing his temples. And now they're gone. Damn it, I gave them... Sorry. Nezu then came into the room. I must say that it was her weakness that got the best of her. Any plant would fail, he said, sighing. What do you mean? Bakugou asked. Fire, as I mentioned, for being out of the ground for a long period of time, drains her energy, and they will eventually die. But fire can be more painful in shorter amounts of time. Anything that is burned, it must be cut off or slowly and with care be healed, Nezu explained. Amai, could you inform our situation to the others? Nezu asked. As for you, Mr. Bakugou, could you perhaps come with me? Nezu asked, then walked off with Bakugou following behind. Nezu had shown Bakugou where you were last. Bakugou was shocked to see everything in disarray. A tree knocked down another, with it having a huge burn mark on it. A hole into a tunnel, burn marks around it, and into the ground. The League must have done it, Nezu spoke, Bakugou putting his hand on the fallen tree. That's what we thought, but there is one thing that considers us with confusion. Nezu walked over to the hole, picking up a same flower that was used to be on you. Why would they take this off? They know how important it is to her, Nezu spoke. What do you mean? Bakugou asked. See, as many know, depending on what she is feeling or hoping, the pollen that comes from the flower helps her battle. Meaning if she was tired, the battle area would be filled with sleeping people, he exclaimed. So that's why I fell asleep? Bakugou spoke. Nezu hummed in confusion. What do you mean? Nezu asked. I was studying last night and I began to feel tired and fell asleep. Next thing I know, it was morning and she was gone, he exclaimed. Maybe it's because she doesn't like to battle in front of teammates. A detective, I forgot his name, spoke. She was just fine battling us, Bakugou spat. It's 'cause it was for training, Nezu spoke. Have fun. You sat for what felt like hours. You couldn't feel anything. Yes, you still had a pot, but it was tiny, not enough to keep you in a healthy state, just enough to keep you living. The way you cried, but you could hear. Oh, wait, yeah. The way you carried, you just had to be heard by someone. But who? After a couple of seconds, someone did open the door. You looked up, but you couldn't see their face. You couldn't see nothing. This is the thing the League said would be our threat. But it looks so dead, someone spoke. Does it even speak? You know what it would be better to do if it never did. He continued. Take it to Airy. He spoke, then left the room. There was another. They growled as they got closer to you. But you wouldn't let him. You threw your arm at his head, hopefully. And you could hear something splatter. A scream that was groggled by something. You could hear footsteps come closer. You could finally feel the light, but sadly, not a natural light. You could feel someone trying to take you somewhere, but you wouldn't let that happen. You fought whatever was picking you up. Then, that's when your body became tiny once again, and you couldn't go giant anymore. That's enough out of you. That man spoke once more, and then picked you up. I'll take them, since you idiots are too stupid to. He spoke. He felt his footsteps, and he walked more and more away from that room. He opened a door, and you could hear a little voice shiver. He walked more into the room and placed you down. You looked around, trying to sense where you were. He moved you to look at something, but you couldn't tell really. He then let go and walked away. Have fun, he spoke, then shut the door. You could hear the meek voice gasp. You turned to it. You smiled, trying to calm her down. You're hurt. The meek voice spoke, coming closer to you. You felt her hand touch you, and slowly your vision came. The little girl took her hand away and looked like she had just hurt you. You smiled, turning around in your pot. She looked shocked. You can move? She spoke. You then began to move once more, trying to make her smile, but you could tell no matter how much work you put into it, her smile would never come. So you poked your arm out from the dirt, which she gasped, and pointed to which your flower should be at. She once put her hand on where the flower should be, touching it, and a glow came from her hand, and the flower slowly grew back. You could feel it come back to life. She quickly moved her hand away from you, but as soon as the flower became again, she was slowly falling asleep. You would protect her with your life. End of chapter 3.